All right, let's jump right in. Every single day, we're all living and working inside these huge digital structures, right? All built from data. But have you ever stopped to think who is actually designing them? Who's making the rules? Well, today we're going to demystify data governance by thinking of it as the architecture behind our entire digital world. So, to kick things off, let's just imagine for a second what happens when that architecture is just not there? Okay, so I want you to picture this. Imagine a city that springs up with absolutely no planners, no architects, zero rules. What do you think that would look like? Total chaos, right? You'd have roads that literally lead to nowhere, buildings that are probably about to fall down, and a whole system that just completely fails. Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what happens to an organization's data when there's no plan.
And this really breaks it down, doesn't it? I mean, look at the two sides. On the left, you've got total chaos. No common rules, so maybe your sales team calls someone a client and the marketing team calls them a lead. It's a mess. The information is all over the place, security is, well, not great, and the whole thing is just super inefficient and costly. But then you look at the right side, that's order. You've got a master plan, data you can actually trust, everything is secure and efficient. It's literally the difference between a random, chaotic settlement and a thoughtfully designed city.
So, the big question is, how do you get from that chaotic mess to a place of order? Well, you do it through the art of city planning. And in our world, the world of data, that's what we call data governance.
So, what is data governance really? When you get down to it, it's not just one single thing, it's the whole shebang. It's the entire framework, the processes, the policies, the people, and yeah, the technology that you need to make sure your data is there when you need it, it's easy to use, you can actually trust it, and it's secure. Think of it as the official, honest-to-goodness blueprint for your entire digital city.
Okay, so any good master plan has to have some clear goals, right? And for data governance, there are four really big ones. First up, making sure everything is transparent so everyone knows the rules of the road, no secrets. Second, you've got to protect your stakeholders, by having a fair way to sort out any arguments about data. Third, and this is a big one, cutting down costs by just being more efficient and coordinated. And finally, it's all about making better decisions by being super clear on who gets to make the call, when, and how.
All right, so we've got the goals. Now let's dig into the actual blueprint for governance. The fundamental rules and the stages of growth that bring it all to life. These right here are the founding principles of our data city. Seriously, you can think of this list as its constitution. You've got to have integrity, just being truthful about data. You need standardization, so everybody is speaking the same language. Then there's stewardship, which is just a way of saying we know who is accountable for what data. And this is so important. You absolutely need checks and balances and the ability to audit things just to make sure the whole system stays fair and transparent for everyone. A city doesn't just pop into existence overnight, right? It grows, it evolves. And that's what this data management maturity model shows. You start out at level 1, where things are kind of messy and ad hoc, like a little unplanned settlement. Then you get to level 2, where things are managed, but maybe just within certain neighborhoods or, departments. By level 3, you've got citywide standards. At level 4, you're actually using metrics to manage things. And then you hit level 5. You're optimized, a thriving, efficient, data-driven metropolis.
So a blueprint is absolutely essential, but a plan on paper isn't enough, right? You also need the right environment, the right tools, and the right people to actually build the city. So let's talk about what it takes to create a truly data-driven culture. First pillar, and honestly, this might be the most critical one of all, executive sponsorship. Just think of it like this. You need the mayor and the entire city council completely 100% behind the project. Because without their support, you're just not going to get the funding, the resources, or the buy-in you need to ever succeed. It's a non-starter without them.
Okay, next up, we have methodology. Here's the thing. Data governance can't just exist in a vacuum. It needs all the other key parts of city planning to work with it. For example, you need data architecture. That's basically your zoning laws. And you need data quality management. Think of that as your building code inspections. They all have to work together.
Pillar number 3 is all about organizational support. This is where you get buy-in from the citizens of your city, from the whole community. You have to weave these new ideas into the very fabric of the company culture. And let's be real, you've got to secure the funding to make any of it happen.
And for pillar 4, it's all about having the right people on the job. You absolutely need a formal, dedicated team.
a city planning department, if you will, that works across the entire organization. These are the pros, the folks who live and breathe this stuff day in and day out. And last but not least, pillar number 5, you need the right tools. We call this delivery capability. It just means having the specialized tech to support and keep your governance initiatives going. I mean, you can't build a modern skyscraper with just a hammer and a saw, right? You need the proper equipment.
So, what this all boils down to is a really crucial point. Building a data-driven organization isn't just about putting a bunch of rules in place. It's about changing the culture itself, the shared values, the norms, so that everyone in the organization gets it and really respects how important data is.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. Now let's tie it all together and talk about why this matters so much, especially when we think about the future, because this is about way more than just being efficient. Think about it. A truly great city isn't just well-planned and efficient. It's also just and fair. It has to have a moral compass. So now that we've built this amazing digital city, we have to stop and ask ourselves, what are its laws? And what are its ethics?
Data ethics. That's the moral code of our city. It's really just about doing the right thing for everybody involved and making sure data isn't abused. And with all this new technology like big data coming at us, we're facing brand new ethical questions and policy gaps all the time. That's why ethics is so directly tied to those core goals of governance we talked about: quality, privacy, security, and compliance. You could say it's the very soul of the entire system.
So after all that, why should this matter to you in your day-to-day? Well, for any professional out there, good data governance means you finally gain control. You get consistency you can rely on. And you get security for your data across its entire life cycle. Simply put, it puts you in the driver's seat. And that leaves us with one last really big question to think about. As our data cities keep growing, getting more and more complex and woven deeper into our lives, who should be the architects of our digital future? The truth is, the responsibility and the incredible opportunity belongs to all of us. Thanks so much for joining me.